Live from downtown Detroit, Local 4 News at noon starts now.
A man is dead after being shot during a traffic stop. Police say their lives were on the line. This is where we're going to begin here at noon. I'm Nick Monticelli.
And I'm Kim DeGiulio. Detroit police continue to investigate at this hour, going through body cam video after officers shot a man and then killed him.
It happened last night in the area of Finkel and the Southfield Service Drive. As Victor Williams reports, the department says the officers were in danger.
Yeah, it's so sad that something like this had to happen. The loss of life is just never a good thing, but this is what officers say happened on Wednesday night, probably somewhere around 10:15 p.m. According to police, they noticed a white car failing to signal, and that's when officers were able to stop the driver. That's when they found out that he had no license. According to police, the driver then tried pulling off when one of the officers tried to use his legs to step on the brakes and stop the car. That resulted in the officer being dragged about 20 yards. The officer's partner tried using a taser, but that didn't work. The suspect allegedly then put the car back into reverse, still dragging the officer, and fearing his own safety along with the life of his partner. The officer shot the suspect in the chest, and he was taken to the hospital where he was pronounced dead. After searching the car, police found a gun with an extended magazine and a Glock switch.
There was a Glock on the floorboard. Inside the Glock was an extended magazine that also had a Glock switch. And I say that to say that if he pulled the trigger one time on the officers, 15 rounds come out quickly. You put that in the wrong hands, and unfortunately it may have been in the wrong hands tonight. The simple pull of that trigger, it squeezes off a lot of rounds really fast. You can do a lot of damage. It's terrifying.
Now, there was a passenger inside of the vehicle. They were taken into custody, but right now this entire matter still remains under investigation. We'll have more from what our safety expert Darnell Blackburn has to say on the matter coming up at 5 p.m. Victor Williams, Local 4.
Yeah, certainly a scary situation. Thank you for that report, Victor. And by the way, that officer who was dragged was also taken to the hospital. He is expected to be okay.
Several schools in Harper Woods are on lockdown this afternoon due to a shooting nearby. The shooting happened near Woodcrest and Lansdowne Streets. Police say the shooting is not school-related and the lockdown is just a precaution, a standard procedure. The shooter has not been taken into custody. Residents in the area are being asked to lock their doors and shelter in place if possible. A high school student in Sterling Heights is expected to be arraigned and in court today in relation to an alleged sexual assault on school grounds.
Investigators say it happened at Henry Ford II High School near the Performing Arts Center on December 5th. While the juvenile suspect is currently being held at the Macomb County Juvenile Detention Center, he's expected to be charged as an adult. And today, the Wayne Westland School District will be holding a special meeting where the community expects to hear about proposed budget cuts and layoffs. The district is currently facing a $23 million deficit. That meeting starts at 5 tonight.
Today, Warren Mayor Lori Stone and city officials celebrating the groundbreaking of 2 new fire stations. Warren's new fire station number 1 is being built next to the Civic Center South complex. Fire station number 5 on Shaner Road will replace the outdated station on Hoover and Common Roads. Both stations will have updated amenities such as separate sleeping, living, and cooking quarters. The stations will also have dedicated decontamination rooms where firefighters can safely remove and clean their gear. Well, we are in the thick of the Christmas travel rush. 115 million Americans on the move and the roads or on the roads or in the air, the most since 2019.
Wow, right before the pandemic. Well, while the weather is mostly cooperating, we do have some trouble spots out west. NBC's Tom Costello is watching the nation's skies from Reagan-Washington National Airport.
Yeah, good day. Boy, this is really a pretty good day to fly. We have been watching very closely the weather out on the West Coast. We've had significant rain, of course, in the L.A. area as well as Santa Barbara, and then significant low clouds and ceilings in San Francisco. That really has been the reason we've had some delays and cancellations, but really very few, only about 50 or so cancellations nationwide on what is the busiest pre-Christmas air travel day of the week, with about 49,000 flights between commercial and general aviation. The TSA expecting about 2.5 million people will be moving through TSA checkpoints today. Again, this will be one of the busiest, if not the busiest, into Christmas itself. On the roads, we're expecting about 104 million people to be driving over the course of the extended period. And right now, gasoline is averaging about $3.09 to 12 cents a gallon nationally. Now, that is down from about $3.29 a gallon a month ago, so a bit cheaper than it was just a month ago. And yet, this is how most people are going to be getting around. Back here at the airports, if you are traveling, boy, you picked a great day to fly. It's a non-event in terms of the weather, except for the West Coast. And the next few days are looking pretty good in terms of air travel. So get to the airport early, though, because the TSA lines are still pretty long. Back to you.
All right. Well, the Detroit Lions are on playoff watch ahead of tonight's Thursday night football matchup. Now get this, the Los Angeles Rams will host the New Orleans Saints with massive playoff implications on the line. The Lions will officially clinch the playoffs if the Rams lose. But either way, whoever wins this game has an increased chance of playing in Detroit for the first round. Interesting, as it's Matthew Stafford.
Bring Stafford back?
Yeah. Exactly. But we're used to rooting for Stafford, and now we want the Rams to lose.
I don't care. We'll root against anybody.
Yeah.
No problem.
Exactly. We just want the Lions in the playoffs, which I think that they're going to secure the deal.
Yeah. All right, let's talk about the weather and the forecast. What a beautiful Thursday afternoon it's been so far, Ashley.
Absolutely. And so we were just talking about some travel impacts. I wanted to show you what we're tracking at this hour when it comes to the travel impacts across the country, because a lot of folks might be catching a flight out of town today, and very little impact across the U.S. The only area that could potentially have a moderate impact is from about Wichita down towards Dallas and then off towards Los Angeles, especially on the west coast of California, where we've been tracking a Pacific storm dumping quite a bit of rain for SoCal. So right now here at Metro Airport, 41 degrees, winds out of the east at 9 miles per hour. Make it feel more like 35, but certainly tolerable for late December, and dry if you're doing some last minute shopping this afternoon. Right now, Detroit at 43, Howell 40, Pontiac 39, and Adrian 40. And we have the easterly winds, for the most part, closer to about 10 miles per hour, but they have picked up in Pontiac closer to about 14 or 15 miles per hour. So clouds and radar, we're going to continue to pump in that cloud cover today. In fact, we have the chance for some rain going into a part of your Friday, but we're dry for now today, and we're still on the milder side, much like yesterday, where we haven't seen a huge change in those temperatures. Clouds sticking around, but topping out in the low 40s. That temperature trend, though, will be heading upward heading into the holiday. As opposed to feeling like Christmas, it'll feel more like spring. We'll have details on when we could have spring-like showers in just a few minutes.